Greetings everyone, my name is Zetterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. During the last part, I celebrated the 100 episode milestone of this series. Once again, I thank you all viewers for sticking with me throughout this 100 episode LP series. So in this part, I'll be covering at least 5 or 6 viewer submitted levels, starting out with this one. Shooty Island Part 2 by ThatValvePersonMabrick with 10 plays and a score of 3. As always, if you want one of your levels to be featured in a part like this one, please leave both the level name and level ID either in the comment section below or direct message me on Twitter. Also, as always, the full disclaimer, this entire LP series is linked in the description below. Also in the description are the timestamps for all the levels I cover. So if you want to check if your level is covered in one of these parts, expand the description. As this is Shooty Island Part 2, we ended Part 1 just behind that boss door, so we directly take off or start right after Part 1. I will also finish Part 3 right after this level is completed. And I guess this is going to be a water level. Judging by the waterfall in the background and the Bubble Man music playing. Just like before, we had the Ring Boomerang and Crash Bomber, and my suspicions were right, we have a water stage with these big fish enemy. Gotta be a bit quick over there so I don't fall into the pit by knockback. I want a damage boost over there because I'm not sure if I'll be able to make that jump. I never trust myself, especially in Mega Man Maker. If this was Magmal 2, which I'm playing a lot more of recently, I would trust myself more in those jumps, but here, definitely a no. That was a bit of a close one there. I was a bit worried I would embed myself in the spikes. Okay, suddenly the boundaries change. Is there a way to get that? I would love to have the wind tornado there. I guess I'll be able to access it from a Galaxy Man teleporter somewhere. I'm not going down there just yet. There's probably a secret up here. Or maybe this is the way to go. I'm not sure. Oh, that's how you get it. Clever. I thought there was a secret up there, but no, you get it this way. I'll say one thing, this stage certainly is more difficult than Part 1. There are a lot more bottomless pits for one. I will gladly use this checkpoint over here because I want to be back at full health. That's one way of warning players in advance that shrinks are coming. Because you can see them trying to get back into the water from the top. And now we go through this segment in reverse. Neat. This stage is certainly generous in terms of E-tanks. I would have loved to have the skull barrier in the first segment of the stage, what with all those spikes and jumping in the water. Oh well. Sure, I'll take this. I don't need another E-tank, so I'll pass it. I guess we're fighting Bubble Man here. And there's the entrance to Stage 3. He's immune against that, of course. And his weakness is the Skull Bear, of course. It was placed really easily, but you need to have the Wind Tornado unlocked in order to access it. So that was part 2 of Shooty Island. Adding to the challenge of part 1, which took place in the forest, aka where we're landing on the island, and this was the waterfall segment. It just felt like a rather mess level overall though. I'll still give it a thumbs up, but honestly this is below par to par for me. So next up is part 3 of Shooty Island with 23 plays and a score of 6. So we're gonna start on the right side of that door. And the boss this time is Napalm Man, so I guess we're entering Wily's base in his fortress, and we still retain the Windstorm as well as Skull Barrier. Even though we may have not unlocked it in the previous level, it's still unlocked here, thankfully. If I could damage boost to the left, I could just shortcut this stage pretty fast. And I forgot I had Skull Bear from the previous level, so... whoops. I mean, combined with the Skull Bear and Wind Tornado, I could bypass going on that ladder to the right, but I'm not skilled enough with my quick weapon switching. You may be wondering why I'm damage boosting a lot here. That's so I can get through the spikes more easily. I don't trust myself. Oh, apparently the lower route had the charge kick. My bad. Darn. Well, I guess I'll have to go by without it, even though it's going to be super helpful for the rest of the level. Oh well, because there's a secret up there, and that probably has the boss's weakness. Oh well. It shouldn't be too much of a loss. The boss fights aren't that difficult anyway. And this is one of those places where I could utilize the charge kick's air jump in order to make that jump. A little bit of mixing of the tile sets here, but I don't mind it too much. I guess this is a loading dock or something for construction areas. At least it seems to be. And I guess this is the end of the stage. Not really difficult. All the stages in this series of levels in Shooty Island, they're really generous with E-tanks. Even though I don't have Napalm Man's weakness, I think I'll be able to do it. I guess we're on a cargo train now. Let me test something. And miss completely. Of course, he's immune against that. He seems to take quite a bit of damage from the wind tornado though. That's good to know. So that was the end of Shooty Island Part 3. In terms of the entire series, my favorite levels would probably be Part 1 and Part 3. Part 2 kind of felt a little bit bland. But the entire series is kind of on the meh side. Part 3 had some interesting ideas though. Third on the lineup is Wily Stage 4 Wily Machine of Doom by TimmyJim453. 24 plays and a score of 9. This is the end of their Wily Fortress series of levels. And a really short one. After all, we do not have fortress bosses or custom bosses in this engine. Let me guess, his weakness is the weapon that's most awkward to hit him with. Nope, I only have the Mega Buster, so full charge shots then. I need to time myself correctly though. That's how we do it. Neat. There we go. That was really easy. Unfortunately, we do not have custom bosses or fortress bosses yet, so I guess this is good enough. I would have liked Metal Man with his cohort the Mecha Dragon, but I guess this works. It's a simple but effective boss fight. But gosh, when I first saw the title, I thought we'd have some lead up, not directly jumping into the boss fight itself. Oh well. Forward on the lineup is Dr. Sachiel Castle 2 by JetHawk74. 7 plays and a score of 1. I completed the Dr. Mali series of levels, and I completed Dr. Sachiel Stage 1 at least a dozen or 2 parts ago, maybe 3 dozen. So time to continue on to this one. Basically, Dr. Mali was the first series of Fortress levels, Dr. Sachiel is the second series. You know, like in Mega Man 4 and Mega Man 5 and Mega Man 6, where we had Dr. Kozak, Proto Man, as well as Dr. X's castles, respectively, before the Dr. Wily stages. And of course we have all special weapons. The Ice Slasher and almost any other weapon combo works wonders against the Sniper Joes. Well, that sucked. I should have waited over there. I half expected there to be a walking bomb. That was my fault. Jethawk did do something similar in the Roadmaster levels. I don't remember which. I may be misremembering though. After all, I've played over 585 levels in Mega Man Maker so far. Well, 586. So I'm bound to mix up early levels. Well, it's a good thing I decided to hold left. That key is probably there for an E-tank or M-tank or a shortcut. Let me take a look at the left because it looks rather suspicious. And I was right, we get several large weapon capsules and an M-tank. Thank you. So I'm gonna quick reset over here at the checkpoint and move on forward. I'm gonna put dive missile out just in case. Especially for walking bombs or other enemies. I mean, the dive missile has so much ammo, plus it deals so much damage, I might as well spam it. I can use it 28 times in a full bar. Like I mentioned before, I feel like the Magnum missile needs an ammo buff or a damage buff. After all, it's almost universally outclassed by the dive missile, outside of some niche cases. I'm gonna follow the suggestion it did earlier and use a skull barrier there. It's a lot safer. It is doable without it, but I'd rather play it safe. After all, in these fortress levels, it's expected that you have all the special weapons. Not risking it here, I'm just gonna damage boost. I guess we're nearing the end of the level. This was at least 35 to 40-ish screens long. Probably 35, seems about the correct length for a fortress level. Particularly in fan games, but I guess not, this is just a mini-boss room. I should have expected as much. Oh, never mind, that was actually the fortress boss. Those three big eyes. Well, I guess they're a good enough substitute. Pretty neat level, this focused more on precision platforming, especially when we got to the ladder grabbing segment with all those spikes. At the very least, you have a way out or a way of making it easier by utilizing the skull barrier. Fifth on the lineup is Magmal 2 SMB3 Remake by LizardCommando. 161 plays and a score 53. Some background information. SMB3 was one of the entry levels in Magmal 2, and it placed in Tier 3 mainly due to it being a rather enemy spam happy level, which was rather unfortunate because otherwise it was a charming level. All of the enemies and environment looked like it took place in Super Mario Bros. 3 for the NES. So let's see how this remake improves things. There is also a remixed version made in the Magmal 2 engine, which I will cover in the future in my Magmal 2 LP, once I get into the post-game there. So we have a similar level structure. To be fair, most of the enemies in the original stage, even though they look like they were from SMB3, they are effectively reskinned Mega Man enemies. And there's a pipe to the left, but let's go to a different route to the right. I guess up here is an E-tank if I can make it. And I was right, here's an E-tank and here's a small airship. And it all leads down over here into this pipe. And here's a shortcut to the end of the level. Or rather, from that split pathway, where we need to jump on those Tomahawk map platforms. And instead of there being a split path to the left or right, we only have a pathway to the right for the airship segment. On the left will be a tank segment. Because there's a bottomless pit, I guess is the airship segment, the more malaligned one. I'm a little bit thankful that we don't have the parachute enemies, instead we have the caterpillars. And it's definitely a lot less enemy spammy. Usually there will be those parachute enemies in between these platforms, but here they don't exist, thankfully. And before, these were the Tomahawk Man platforms. They've been replaced with the Shadow Man platforms. And because there's no auto-scrolling, it also makes this segment a lot easier. Oh neat, after the airship segment we have the tank segment, so it still exists. Although I'd probably place the tank segment first because this is a lot easier. There are no bottomless pits after all. Really, I have nothing more to say about the stage other than that it's a massive improvement over the original offering. A lot less enemy spammy, a lot more fun. And a lot easier too. Too bad we don't have a Bowser fight at the end. Here's the castle. I would have preferred if we were teleported into the castle directly. If this was how the level was originally designed in Magmal 2, I'd say it easily fit into Tier 5, especially with the charming aesthetic and reskinned enemies. Instead we fight Hardman, who I guess is similar to the original Bowser. So that was the end of Magmal 2 SMB3 Remake. I will need to take a look at the Magmal 2's engine's rendition of this, but like I said, I'll do it in the post-game. Definitely an improvement, I will give it a thumbs up. Pretty fun level. 6th on the lineup is Water Tower Fortress Edition by MAGMAX, 9 plays and a score of 1. So the next version of the Water Tower levels. In this case, it's going to be a fortress level. I see something up there, I'm a bit suspicious. it's probably gonna result in my death, of course. Guess not. Wow, we actually have nothing as our main weapon, so we have limited weapons here. Before I take this route, I want to go to the right just to be safe. I want to make sure I'm not skipping anything. Oh, there's nowhere else to go other than up. All my weapons are limited here, so I gotta be a bit careful. Hopefully, I do not need to rely on the random drops. A lot of enemies here. Well, I guess I'll have to use the Perfect Freeze, as well as the Thunder Beam and Gemini Laser as my Buster replacement. Mainly the Perfect Freeze, especially because of how spammable it is. Oh yeah, I also realized I have the Flash Stopper. I can utilize the Buster there. I'm not gonna slide through there. Knowing my luck, it's gonna result in me falling to spikes. At least that's what happened last time. This kind of feels like MAGMAX's previous level Spring Tower, but instead of springs, we have a whole bunch of enemy gauntlets taking place underwater. Those sliding points look rather tempting, but I'd rather not risk it. Really, I have nothing more to say about this level, other than the fact that it's an underwater battle tower. Probably the same thing will happen with the next stage, because I will be covering version 2 of this level right after this one. I just realized something. There were no checkpoints in that room. Imagine if I died in the middle there, especially in that room filled with the yoga block surprise. Would I have to repeat this entire tower? I guess so. Unless I missed the checkpoint earlier. And here's the checkpoint. Time to fight the boss. That was a rather uneventful boss fight, but I guess that's the end of the level. Nothing more to say other than the fact that it's an underwater tower battle gauntlet. And I guess the same will hold true for version 2 of the stage, so I will be silent unless there is something of interest that happens, or I get to the boss fight, or at the end. Once again, we have limited weapon sets. At the very least we have the Mega Buster, but of course it's limited as well. Alright, I made it this time. This stage definitely had more gimmicks and was slightly harder due to the weapon set mainly. So that was version 2 of the Fortress edition of Water Tower. Nothing more to say other than it's a little bit more sophisticated and a bit more difficult than the first level. Though, my earlier complaint holds that there's no checkpoint in between, outside just before the boss fight. This is more of a problem with the first version because that felt longer than this one. And if you died in the middle, well, it's all the way back to the beginning. That would be especially annoying with that one Yoku Block surprise room, if you're not careful. So overall, out of the 7 levels I covered in this part, my favorite one would definitely be Dr. Sachiel Castle 2. So in the next part, I'll be covering at least 5 or 6 more of Veer's Mid levels. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!